Hi guys.
Hello there.
So after almost a year of living in Turkey, we put together a list of things for you that you should know before considering moving to Turkey or traveling there as a tourist. It depends on the city.
If you take any of public transportation in Istanbul, you should be fine. You're gonna get anywhere you need in time.
Yeah.
But outside of Istanbul, that's where it is more flexible.
Flexible and different, yes.
It's our favorite word now. After living in Turkey for a year, everything is flexible.
Those intercity buses, they are okay. They have a website where you can buy tickets, like Obilet, and they have constant schedule, and it's all predictable.
And they actually follow the schedule.
Yes, it's all okay. They have air cons. They even provide snacks, water.
Seats are comfortable.
Yeah.
Everything is great.
For public transportation in cities, we have sort of an experience in Antalya.
What would happen? You go to a bus stop and you can download this app which shows like where all the buses go.
Yeah.
It shows real-time location of all buses. But surprise, surprise! You come to a bus stop and
The bus just disappears from the app, from the map, and
there is no bus.
Yeah.
And you could wait it for like 40 minutes, like 50 minutes, for an hour, which is insane.
They have a schedule, but don't expect that those buses follow that schedule. An interesting thing, some buses, like they go in pairs, so you are at the bus stop and you see like two buses coming at the same time and they have the same route number.
Yes, even though they have schedule, but they do not follow it at all.
Yeah.
Which is very annoying, because like if you need to go places...
Hello.
Hi, who's a good boy? If you need to go places,
Yeah.
it's like you need to leave at least 2 hours before your designated time.
Yeah.
Otherwise you won't be able to get it in time.
Yeah.
No chance.
So for the rest, you should probably get a taxi.
And taxis are fairly expensive for what it is. They don't... In most cities, they don't allow to operate Uber or like Yandex taxis. What it means for local people, the prices are higher than everywhere else.
They should be, yes.
And you really need to kind of watch the driver, what he does. They have the taximeter, and you need to make sure as a passenger they actually turn it on, and it shows you all the zeros. When you sit, they put 10 as you you got in the car, and they put it like 10 liras already.
Just for arrival. Yeah. So
it shouldn't show you like 100 liras or 200 liras or something, no. And
10 maybe in current prices already 15, but it's not 100, not 50. Yes.
And also in touristy places they may charge you in euros. So
they all should charge you in liras. If they ask for euros or dollars, no, that's cheating. Where to find a meter in a taxi? Normally it's on the mirror. So
it's actually showing you the price for the ride. It's not like distance or anything, it is the actual price you have to pay.
Also, if you go outside in most parts of the city, you'll probably see those yellow metal boxes with buttons on them. So
that's so cool.
Yes, to actually call a taxi, you just push the button.
And wait, it comes in a few minutes. If you need to transit within a city, please make sure you live by a tram line. Because in our experience, trams work the best. They actually follow the schedule, they go super fast, they avoid all traffic jams, and also AC works in trams at all times. While in buses, for whatever reason, AC doesn't work until 6 in the evening or 7 in the evening.
It's like in most buses, after 11 a.m. and until 7 p.m. they turn off the aircon when it's 45 degrees outside. It's so weird. We saw people collapsing actually from heat.
We actually had to catch a couple of people in the heat. It's just insane.
All trams, they are running every 10 to 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah, so basically if you're living in Antalya, please make sure you're by tram line. It's gonna save you a lot of time and headaches. And also trams in Antalya, at least they go to the airport.
Yeah, there are also buses, yes, there are a couple of buses that go to the airport, but tram is more convenient. Yeah, you just go outside of the airport and right across the parking where you can see taxis, there is a tram line. It's like lifted over the ground. Yeah, you just, it's impossible not to notice it, I'd say, yes. And downstairs there is an elevator. You'll find a vending machine where you can buy that plastic card to use it for public transportation. It works for trams, it works for buses. You can put money on it there.
But unfortunately for every city you have to buy a separate card. And also if you want to go to another city, you go to...
It's called AntalyaKart, but it's a bus station,
and they can take you anywhere you need to. Buses go everywhere. Please take a passport with you. Or some sort of identification.
Sometimes on your way there might be checkpoints, military checkpoints or police checkpoints, and what they do is a guy, like a military guy, enters the bus and asks everyone to show your ID card or passport.
Yeah,
and the third option is renting a car.
Renting a car is the best way to travel in Turkey, and depending on rental, you could get any kind of vehicle.
So normally they have French cars like Renault, Peugeot, Citroën.
If you want to rent a car here, you probably want to take it from a well-known company, because smaller ones they have a very wild requirements. They will let you use their car like for at least like 5 days or so, like 3 days at least, and then they have daily mileage. It's usually around 200 kilometers. So basically they give you a car, but they do not want you to actually drive it anywhere. It's like 200 kilometers for Turkey. It's like nothing.
But I think that those international chains like Avis and others, they also have mileage limit. I'm not sure how it works in Turkey, but I think they also have, and they cost a lot more. What we found out is that there is a local rental chain called Çizgi.
Oh, that one was fantastic.
They have good cars, normally 2-3 years old maximum.
Yeah, while in small rentals, they give you like 6 years old car, 10 years old cars, and they are basically falling apart. And we had such an experience when we took a car from a small rental and we couldn't drive it. We drove like for 5 minutes and broke down.
Yes, it was showing a gearbox fault. Yes, so we couldn't drive it because the rear gear didn't work. Well, they returned us the money, but still we just lost almost a day of our plans.
So basically Çizgi was the least problematic for us, and we never had an issue with them.
Reasonable prices, no mileage limits.
They may ask for a deposit, but like you can negotiate it.
They almost never asked a deposit from us because we did it many times with them. So, but I think if you are a new client, they might ask, but it's something like 3 or... Oh wait, it was 5,000 lira, I think.
Yeah.
So it's less than $300, so I think it's okay. Yeah, and they are at the airport, which is convenient.
In every big city they have an office. You're not gonna have a problem renting it. And in many cities they have actually the booth right in the airport.
In Antalya, winter tires are unavailable. So if, for example, you come in mid-season and want to travel somewhere to the mountains, it can be snowing there, so you cannot get winter tires. When we traveled to the east of Turkey, they actually provided the car with winter tires already installed.
And we didn't pay extra for that. But with this rental, it's actually a little bit weird. You take it with empty tank, and you return it with an empty tank.
And they take cash, they take cards, they accept like euros, dollars, whatever you have, so they're flexible.
The only limit they may have is actually the amount of driver's experience. In economical cars would require from you one year of experience, driver's experience. Mid-range cars would require from 3 years, and higher and luxury cars would cost you
5+ years.
It was actually a nice experience driving in Turkey because people don't like drive very fast.
It really depends from which country you are. Some people say it's chaotic, it's like a nightmare. But from our point of view, it's really easy to drive in Turkey.
Again, coming up with our favorite word, it's flexible.
Oh yeah.
In here, basically you can see people driving on the opposite side of the road for whatever reason, or they may decide to stop right in the middle of the crossing or crossroads.
Sometimes if they see that the crossing is empty but the light is red, they just say whatever and go where they need, so they don't follow these rules. But it's all predictable. All their moves are really predictable. Like you can see that this guy, he's suspicious. He's gonna just turn this way or turn that way. I don't know. For me, it was pretty easy, and except Istanbul, I guess there is no problem with traffic.
Yeah. In bigger cities, you might encounter some problems with angry local drivers, just because they have to be in traffic jams all the time, and they become a little bit nervous about that. But outside of really big cities, it is fairly easy to drive. All roads are paved. Almost all roads are paved.
Nice
and
highways.
Yeah, and those which are not paved, they are fairly in good condition, so basically any car you take, it will handle the road. So what we discovered is the best way to travel in Turkey by car is by diesel automatics, because diesel is cheaper and the car has more range. And at the same time, automatics may help you to navigate small streets with hills and downhills and everything.
In general, it's really nice and pleasant. They have wide roads. They have pretty cool toll roads.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost a fortune. All their toll roads are fairly affordable. Like in Chizgi, they give you like this
$6 deposit for toll roads. So normally when we traveled a lot, we just use it. And I think maybe a couple of times they asked us to pay something on top, but it wasn't a lot. Yes, like maybe a few dollars more. Yeah, I think the most expensive, it was crossing that new bridge over Dardanelles. Yes, we'll put the link to the video somewhere. So it cost us 200 liras just to cross the bridge itself. It was a toll road, but it's like $10.
Yeah, but for the rest of tolls, they didn't charge us, because like that $6 amount was actually enough for us to drive 2 weeks straight. But the price of gasoline might be...
I think it can be compared to Europe.
We took a car, you're not gonna tell which one, but it was a gasoline car, and it didn't have very high fuel economy, and so basically the cost of fuel was the same as
we paid for a week of renting it. For driving, beware of those tiny mopeds that delivery guys, they run out of nowhere.
Like in cities such as Antalya or Istanbul, those guys appear literally from out of nowhere, and you cannot hear them because some of those small scooters are electric.
Even if you are not driving just as a pedestrian, just beware, because they come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and also follow restrictions closely, speed limits.
In Antalya, in some cities, it's a speed limit of 82.
82, yes.
Yeah,
They have a
82.
speed limit of 82 kilometers per hour, which is a little bit
Confusing.
confusing, because the thinking is
Yeah.
you have this 10% tolerance. If you translate 82 kilometers per hour with 10%
Yeah.
tolerance, you're gonna get around 90 kilometers an hour. But most people, who, from what we see, they just follow the speed limit,
yeah.
which is on the sign.
Yeah.
Maybe a
So,
little bit faster, and not many people actually go a lot faster.
yeah.
We never got a fine here. Police never actually stopped us. Maybe some checkpoints.
Yeah, to check points a couple of times, but they check passports, not your driving.
Driver, not even your driver's
Yeah.
license.
Yeah.
If you're not driving like complete assholes, you're not gonna have a problem with the police. It may take a while for you to find a good apartment to live. First off, what you need to know, most apartments are not furnished.
Yeah. Like in Antalya, it might be different because they have tourists who come to stay, but in general, yes, in general, they have unfurnished apartment, and it's like it has zero inside. Seriously, maybe just toilet bowl.
Yeah, and that's all. Yeah, you might say it's not big of a problem, but if you're a foreigner here
Tourist.
and tourist, imagine buying everything yourself. You need to buy bed, mattresses,
Yes.
all the
Air cons, all kitchen stuff, all bathroom stuff, like all of it. And then, for example, you are spending a year in Turkey, and then you have to sell it or just to throw away, to give it away somewhere. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and imagine doing that as a foreigner, especially if you don't speak Turkish.
Yeah.
So it's
Might be an adventure.
might be an adventure for you.
If you want to rent an apartment, how to do it? If you don't speak Turkish, it's a good idea actually to find a translator, because they have that website Sahibinden, where they put ads about places they rent out, and on that website you can find all offers. But to contact people, not many of them actually speak English. So, for example, if you contact them through WhatsApp, just texting them, not many of them just text you back, because some locals, they don't like to rent anything out to foreigners, just because it's like a separate process, it's a different story, they never had experience, or maybe some of their friends had not really positive experience, or they just don't bother, or they are too lazy. Yeah. So it's better to find someone who speaks Turkish. Okay, if you understand a little bit of Russian, there are tons of groups on Telegram where they put ads in Russian language, and you can find just multiple offers there. There is another way. So if you go, for example, to some neighborhood where you would prefer to rent an apartment, it's in some houses which they call MLACs, like an apartment residential building. They have small offices. And in those offices, they actually, these are rental agencies, but you'd probably also need someone who speaks Turkish to negotiate.
At least to talk to them, to see options and everything.
Another option, like the fourth option, is if you walk around the neighborhood, you'll probably see on some balconies or windows, you'll probably see those words like satilik or kiralik. Satilik stands for sale and kiralik stands for rent. So this means those people are renting out their apartment.
So you can call them up and talk to them, negotiate the price. Because bargaining is still a thing in Turkey, even though, like, they tell you like how much you need to pay for it. Everything you talk about with them, you need to put into a contract. And what you need to know about those is that those contracts actually very powerful thing in court. If you have a dispute with your landlord, the laws usually on your side.
Try to put everything in your contract, and during this process it's better, yes, to have a lawyer with you or someone who speaks good Turkish or like a rental agent. Also, if you want to stay in Turkey longer for your residency permit, you need to go to notary. They stamp the contract. It makes it available for you to apply for residency permit. Renting is available, it's pretty affordable, but at some points when prices just went up twice and 3 times because of high demand, because there also that earthquake happened and locals moved.
Yeah, lots of Russians moved, Ukrainians moved, like whoever moved.
Yeah, so the problem started that those landlords, they wanted to ask more money from people. Normally it was like 3 times more, 2 times more. Many people hired lawyers and went to court. Court said that landlords are not allowed to do that.
Court protects the agreement.
Yeah.
Whatever in the agreement, that's how court decides, because landlords can change conditions like anytime. But if there is actual court and you have an agreement, it's gonna save you from paying lots of money.
Yeah.
Courts do work and they respect agreements in any form. If you have text messages negotiating something or a contract, it has power in court.
Yeah.
So be careful what you write to your
in your contract,
contract, and also what you write in your messages on your phone, because like if you have a contract which saying one price but you negotiated another different price in your messaging app, that would be a good evidence in court.
Okay. Yes, so if you are texting with your landlord, those texts, those messages, they are also considered by the court if you have problems. When you rent your apartment, you just have that notary contract. Also, you have to go to the company that provides all utilities like water, internet, electricity.
Because everything gonna be on you.
You make a contract with them, take those papers, then you have your like passport. What else? Translated to Turkish, and you also have to provide bank statements, I guess.
Bank statements.
So insurance for at least a year, and
it's a medical insurance, but in some regions they may ask also for earthquake insurances.
Yeah, but this is provided by your landlord anyways.
Yeah, but you still have to remember you might need
and
that.
The paper called tapu is a proof of ownership from your landlord. What else did they ask, I think?
Yeah, it was a while back, so you probably you'll have to research it yourself.
Yeah, so with
rules change every year.
With those papers, you go to the migration office and apply for residency permit. In December 2022, rules changed and they started denying everyone, and just stopped issuing new residency permits. So people, like locals, said that it's because of upcoming elections. So elections happened in May, and yes, we have to wait, because it also depends on your nationality. If you are like a minority in Turkey, I know that there were cases that they issued residency permits.
Yeah, and also like it is flexible again. You might try, but in every region things may work differently, and not everything may be put in the law. You go, you try, and you see for yourself.
Like one thing more we have to mention, if you are planning to order anything, order delivery to your apartment, food, it might be anything, except your address, you have to provide the name of your building, because in Turkey all buildings, they have names. They usually have like a board or like a plate with the name of the building.
Outside of the building, inside of the building, so it's in addition to the street and the number of the house, you have to put the name of the house.
Because
otherwise they won't find you.
Like here, you see the house has number 4, and the name of the whole building is Manola. Yeah. And to sum it all up, here is a quick room tour of the apartment we were renting for a year, which is a typical Turkish one-bedroom apartment. It cost us $250 per month. By summer 2023, the owner wanted to double the price, so we decided to move out. The apartment was fully furnished and we didn't buy anything ourselves. As you can see, it has a nice and comfy living room combined with kitchen, plenty of sunlight and a stunning view from the terrace. If you put up a table on the terrace, it can comfortably fit in 4 people. For the bathroom, it had all necessities, a shower and a washing machine. In the bedroom, there was a double bed and a single one in case a family with a kid wanted to move in. There was also a door to the second part of the terrace, which we mostly used to put up the drying rack for the clothes. Banks in Turkey is a separate universe out of the mall.
Yeah, for the most part it's a disaster.
Yeah, so if you plan to open a bank account in Turkey, it might be also an adventure.
In every office of the same bank, there might be different rules for opening bank accounts. Like if I opened an account in a Turkish bank in Antalya and for whatever reason I moved to Ankara, and if I need to do anything with my account, I will have to go down to Antalya and do everything there.
Well, I hope not, but that's what they told us, I mean at the bank, because I heard people who open their accounts in Istanbul could do something at least in Antalya, but that's what what they told us. Yes, if you have any problems, you have to go to the exact same office where you opened your account, where you received your bank card. What? If you want to go to a Turkish bank and you don't speak Turkish, it's gonna be a struggle, because even if they say that they speak a little bit of English, it means they speak zero English. Yeah, just prepare Google Translate at least, and for any specific operations you'd probably also need either Turkish or like a translator.
What we faced when we were opening a bank account, you will have to pay a deposit in a separate bank account, which they can hold for up to like 3 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, because the amount of deposit depends on the office, the number of months depends on the office. So the most, like when we open bank accounts, they asked for 15,000 lira for 1 month, and just a couple of weeks later the amount was already 30,000 lira, and it was 3 months. So it can be like when foreigners started to arrive, rules started to change drastically. Like every couple of days something new was invented.
Yes, in some cases they were demanding like up to $10,000 in a bank account, and what they would do is they would take those $10,000 and convert them to lira and hold it for a year. And the lira is not the most reliable currency out there,
unfortunately.
And yes,
so yeah, just prepare, ask everything carefully, and be sure that if they demand a deposit and you are ready to do that, so it should be kept in dollars or euros, any currency, but not Turkish lira. Yeah.
And also pro tip, if you went to a bank and they told you some conditions to open a bank account
and you don't like them,
and don't like them, just go to another office of the same bank, ask them, because the conditions and might be different.
Oh.
Like right, in government banks, you will be able to open a bank account only if you have a residency permit.
Yeah, but they didn't ask for any deposits, for any payments, nothing. So when you open your bank account, they provide you a regular MasterCard, normally MasterCard or sometimes Visa card. But the thing is that it does nothing. You can use it for payments in shops and restaurants, but there is also a limit. If you want to buy something online, it works only for local Turkish online marketplaces, like just a couple of them. So, and there is also a limit for that online shopping. You have withdrawal limits, pretty small, like 200 euros per day. You cannot use it on Amazon, Airbnb, Booking.com. Annual Adobe subscription, we couldn't pay for it. If you're planning just to use it just for payments at supermarkets, then it's fine. For the rest, you'll need a Turkish credit card. And they have some other complicated rules to open it. They ask for extra deposits, for more money, and so on. Yeah.
And also, Google Pay or Apple Pay do not work in Turkey.
Yeah. I mean, you cannot connect Turkish card to Google Pay.
There are a few major websites where you could order things.
Yeah, like clothes, tech, shoes. Yeah. So
the biggest and the cheapest one would be Hepsiburada.
Yeah.
And the second one would be Trendyol. And like, and the third one would be Amazon.
Yes.
But the Turkish version of it.
If you order something from abroad to Turkey, you're gonna pay all the taxes. It's normally twice the price of what you paid for the stuff, and you have to figure out how to actually pay it, because different carriers, different delivery services, they have different rules. And I heard that some people had to go to the customs office, which is too far outside of the city, yes, and figure out how to pay the tax. Don't even try to order multivitamins, like supplements, from abroad. For example, if you want to order something from iHerb, just forget about it, because if you want to do it, you need a prescription from a Turkish doctor.
So if you want to buy any kind of electronics, cameras, phones or whatever, you will need to provide a Turkish ID.
Yeah. It can be your residency permit, or it can be if you have a Turkish friend, a local, you can ask for his ID number.
You probably don't want to buy electronics in Turkey anyway.
Yes.
Like with phones you'll have to, but with laptops you probably do not want to buy anything out of Turkey. Because it is 2 or 3 times more expensive than in Europe. And you have $1,000 phone in the US, here it becomes $2,500.
Yeah. Even Turkish citizens, they travel abroad, at least to Georgia. They buy phones there and bring them to Turkey and pay that import tax.
We had an interesting shopping experience buying contact lenses. Normally you would need to go to a local doctor to get a prescription to buy contacts, but we found this website called Lens Market. They don't pay us to tell anything. I ordered a few packs of contact lenses from them and they just shipped me.
They didn't ask for anything, they just shipped it out and then it arrived safely. In Turkey you never know what to expect, but still there are a lot of foreigners living in Turkey. Some of them like nature, some of them like costs of living, because comparing to the US or to the UK it's like nothing, especially if you have all your savings in more stable currencies.
Yeah, they enjoy Turkey. Turkey is a nice country. It has a few things to improve.
For us, I think we don't regret that we spent a year there.
No, not at all. Like if I had a choice to do it all over again, I would do it, because you know, like, please, like, if you travel to Turkey, just don't stay in one place.
Yeah.
Please travel
Around.
north, south,
Yeah,
east, and west, and see like the middle part of it.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while, but it is well worth it. Also, it's safe and
Safe and affordable.
affordable.
Yeah. A rich country in terms of history and in terms of landscapes and places to see. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? You might actually move here and enjoy.
Decide to stay.
Decide to stay. A lot of people, especially from Germany and England, decided that
To retire.
to retire in Turkey, and they like it. They like it a lot.
Thanks for watching. Give us thumbs up. That's what we normally forget to say in all our videos.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we will see you in the next one.
Yeah, subscribe. Bye bye.
Bye. Take it easy.